Well, how do and welcome into this very special episode of the Podvan Podcast. I'll get straight to it. In this episode, I'm going to tell you exactly how much money I make from the ads in the podcast that you will have heard over all of those episodes. And just quickly as well, if you are listening to this on Spotify, you could actually be watching it on Spotify. This is a video episode as well. I'm going to be putting some things up on the screen that are going to help you sort of understand the numbers that we're talking about. So this will be quite an eye-opener, I think, for anyone who's thinking of launching a new podcast. But it'll be helpful, and I'll actually show you how you can actually make money from a podcast as well. So just before we get into that, if you're new to this and you're just jumping in because you're like, wait, how much money do you make from a podcast? I'm Rabbit. I was in radio for 34 years. I know, you look at me, you go, you're not even 34. That doesn't even add up. And then it was, what do I do next? I got into podcasting. I built a studio into a 1967 retro caravan. It's called the Podvan. I can take it around anywhere, and I do. And I put out 182 episodes so far. I've done 3 episodes a week right from the first day. In fact, only a couple of weeks ago was my first day, and it was weird of not putting out a podcast on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but that was because it was Anzac Day. There's going to be a change to the way the Podvan podcast is done. In fact, a bunch of changes that I'm going to be announcing through this. So if you're a regular listener, you'll get it. And if you aren't, you'll also get it. Let me break it down. When you get into podcasting, what you don't get told is how much money you can or cannot make from it. I know when I started it, I was looking at the numbers. I got very quickly to the point where you got to get to a certain amount of downloads before you can turn on monetization. And then they start putting out, when I say they, it's your publisher that puts out the podcast for you and pushes it to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iHeart and all the rest of them. And so I was pretty stoked when ads from ginormous companies started popping up. Now, I'm not going to say the name of my publisher. I'm not going to say the name of any of these advertisers either, because who wants that drama? But it's just really interesting when you find this stuff out. I mean, it's taken me over a year to get to this point where I'm like, okay, I think people need to know this. It'll help you understand why I'm doing what I'm about to do. And if you're someone looking at getting into podcasting, it'll maybe help you. I don't know, this may help make up your mind. So one of my recent episodes the other day, I noticed had 2 minutes 20 of ads on the start. It was 5 ads. And again, massive companies. So 2 minutes 20 at the start. Then there were ads in the middle as well, a couple of those, and then ads at the end as well. Some months I've seen 30,000 ads being played to my listeners. 30,000. So if I just get $1 for each ad, that's $30,000 for the month. Nope. Last month, I had my biggest month ever of the podcast. It's been going nearly a year and a half. Somehow, I ended up with a third of the amount that I would normally make in a month. And that's after my biggest month ever. So there's no control over this. I don't even understand it. In fact, I haven't even been paid for the last 2 months. I've been sending the invoices, and that's another thing. I don't know if it's the same with every publisher, but it's not a simple process to get paid. And I just want to say as well, this is not a whinge. This is the reality of it. And this is my business, right? I've worked really hard to get to the kind of numbers that I'm at now. And then when you hear this other side of it, I'll get to the numbers in just a second. So over 100,000 downloads of the podcast. Last month, 30,000 ads. You know how much I made in my biggest month last month? Lock in your guess. What do you think? Little thinking time. Got a number? Actually, an ad break. Oh, what's that? An ad? Okay, sure. Oh, what fantastic placement. Did you say King Mitre 10? Well, let me tell you about them. These guys have been on board since day one of the Podvan podcast, and before it, actually. And really, they've kind of kept the Podvan afloat. Not that it floats, but maybe I should try it. The team in there are so supportive of the community. I love their values. I love everything about the way they do their things, and on board since day one. So I really appreciate King Mitre 10 and Gwendolyn Bowling Club as well. One of the first to reach out to me and say, how do we get involved in this thing? And I went, I have no idea. And they kept chasing me and said, we want to be part of this. So from the bottom of my cold, dead heart, Gwendolyn Bowling Club, King Mitre 10, thank you so much for all your support. Guys, I hope you can support them as well. These guys have really kept the Podvan rolling on down the road month to month. All right. Are you ready? In my biggest month last month, how much did I make from ads inserted into the Podvan podcast? Lock in your guess. What do you think? Got a number? Did you say $118 for the month? Then you nailed it. Isn't that crazy? So I had this thing when I first launched. I saw how much I was making in a month from the ads, and I was like, oh my God. But then I just went, well, when I've got 10 times the number of listeners, that's going to be 10 times that amount. And somehow it really hasn't worked out like that. And I just can't understand it. I've looked into all of the data of it. I see some businesses that have spent 8 cents for the month with me, which is great. I've heard those ads in the podcast. And I'm like, well, you've got yourself a great deal. I'm not bitter about this. I'm just shocked. Again, as I say, it's just when there's tens of thousands of ads being served up to people, and then I get just over $100 for the month. I mean, that's just taking the piss. So I'm turning off the ads. Enjoy. There won't be any more ads on the podcast, except the ones that are sponsoring the podcast directly through me. It's really interesting to me. I figure I'll share this information if you're looking at getting into podcasting, or you've ever wondered how much do podcasters make. Listen, there are obviously Diary of a CEO, one of my favorite podcasts. Yeah, he's doing okay. There's a gazillionaire. There are the podcasts at the very top with the gazillions of listeners who are absolutely killing it. Actually, in saying that, I know Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, he does not have the standard way of doing the podcast, which is they're just like ad breaks that go into it. He said no to those, and he's formed his own partnerships with companies, and he does ads himself for those businesses in there. And then they're not getting lost in a big ad break full of all these other ads as well. So it's more personal. So I'm ditching the current publisher. I am switching to Spotify for creators. What's great about that is you can do video podcasts as well. So they only show up as videos on Spotify, but you can still listen to them on Apple Podcasts and all the other podcast platforms. And even if you're in your car and you're listening to Spotify, it still just plays as audio, but the video option is there for you. Just some more numbers for you. The last episode that I put up, the one with Jenny Darby, the interior designer from Ivy and Rose Homewares, that episode took me 6 hours to edit the audio. Then I went and made some reels from it and posted those all up on social media, which takes the time of doing those as well. So when you look at the numbers, right, 12 brand new episodes a month, along with I started doing quick fix episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. So that was 5 episodes going out a week. And then you look at that return and you go, no. Especially seeing as now I'm doing this super awesome thing, which, oh my goodness, I am loving producing other people's podcasts. Now, you might think I've just said how you can't make money from the podcast. Well, I'm talking about from the ads that just get baked into the episode, which you have nothing to do with. You don't even control the content of them or anything. What it is great for is a platform for you to promote yourself or what you do. I'll give you an example. Safari Life with Bobby Joe, right? That's one of the podcasts that's come on under Podvan Media. Bobby Joe will be over in Africa, sitting on the edge of the Ngorongoro Crater. I've heard her say that so many times and I still can't say it. Ngorongoro. I'm trying to say it like she says it. The Ngorongoro Crater. I sound ridiculous saying it, so I'll leave that to her. She'll be sitting on the edge of a crater in Africa. There's like lions all around. Not always when she's just sitting there's not lions always. Well, they may be. She doesn't know. She'll sit down with a guest there. She'll record her podcast. You hear all the birdies going in the background and stuff. And when she's done, she just drops that audio into a Dropbox. I pick it up over here, start work editing on it, producing it all up. We are back and forth on WhatsApp all the time. And now she's got this podcast out. It's something she's always wanted to do. She's got so many incredible stories, but doesn't know how to do all the technical side of it. All the editing, the publishing, the posting that goes along with it. And even more so, she doesn't have the time to learn it all. She went straight from Africa to Sri Lanka to India on her way back home to Australia this time, each with different safaris along the way. So many amazing stories. Now she's got this podcast out there. Now, there aren't even any ads in Bobby Joe's podcast, but you know what there is? Bobby Joe. My dream for this is someone's going to be listening to this podcast and they don't have to be here. They could be anywhere in the world and they get to know Bobby Joe. And she's a wildlife photographer, like an incredible photographer. She's got a photography exhibition on in the next couple of weeks down in North Sydney. If you're thinking of going to Africa and on safari and you've been listening to Bobby Joe, as if you're not going to go, want to go with her. She's got so much knowledge. She's a great photographer. And that's what she does. She teaches people how to take the best shots. She actually works at a zoo as well. So she knows the animal behavior and when the elephant's about to do its big thing with its floppy ears and stuff. So you get what I'm saying? Through people listening to her podcast, if that ends up with one person booking a trip to India to go on safari with her, job done. And it's so much more of a personal thing. It's long form. She did an episode on the realities of travel when you're doing these kind of things, and traveling as a solo female as well. Really interesting stuff. And I'm just hanging for the day when she goes, oh, someone just booked a trip and they said they listened to the podcast. Marcus Crowick with his Business Unlocked podcast just launched the other night. He's a business coach. He's sharing really helpful stuff to business owners. And I can just see someone going, this guy knows his stuff. Let's get in touch and maybe he can help our business. So see what I mean about it being a way to promote yourself or your business? Then there's Fee from Beyond the Tube. Now, Fee's little boy Ezra is fed through a tube in his stomach. When they got that news, there's just no information out there as a parent for you to know what to do. What's next? How do we do this? How do we go traveling? Her most recent episode, she goes through what it's like traveling with a tubie. That's what they call them. Because he's fed through a tube with syringes of this specially prepared food. That's the kind of podcast that is so niche. Here's what I can picture with that one. A doctor in Adelaide talking to a mum and dad who've got their little bubba. It's 1 year old and there's been all these complications and the doctor says, this baby's going to have to be fed through a tube. They then go looking for information. There's still not a lot of it out there, but the doctor goes, you should listen to this podcast. It's going to be very helpful. Now I can see, because Fee's going to have medical professionals. She's got other parents joining her on it. It's going to be a great resource and she'll be able to get that sponsored. She'll get someone backing that 100%. But even then, at the end of the day, that one is about Fee just wanting to share some knowledge and help out other parents, which is amazing. I've just had 2 more podcasts sign up in the last 48 hours that are very, very different. One, yes, is absolutely using it as a tool to grow their business. The other one is straight up just wanting to share information and give back. And they're like amazing entrepreneurs with multiple businesses. I can't wait for you to hear that one. So I can't be working on all of that stuff if I'm putting out 12 brand new podcasts a month. As much as I love it, the Podvan Podcast is going to continue. Don't worry about that. But I hope you can understand that it's not even it is a business point of view, but I don't have a job anymore. Our bank balance has been going backwards for the last 18 months. It's time to start turning that around. And I can't tell you how much I am loving working with people, bringing their dreams to life. When I was in radio, I always had this dream actually, and I just realized this the other day that I was thinking, what I would love to do after radio is become a consultant. So to be able to go around other regional radio stations and help train up new announcers, give them tips and tricks and things like that. And the funny thing is, now that I'm out of radio, that's exactly what I'm doing. Not just with the podcasting, but also with businesses that I'm now working with. Grumpy Ginger Yarn Co. Can't say the other 2 yet because we haven't announced them yet, but other businesses that I'm working with to help them grow their presence online. It's a different world now, and there's so many different ways to show people what you do. Example, Grumpy Ginger Yarn Co. I know nothing about knitting, about crochet. They've even got a cafe attached to it, the little lunch cafe in Wyong. I've never even had a coffee in my life. And they are experts at what they do, but again, don't have the time to be putting all the work into the social media, to be getting that word out to people. So you may have noticed on my socials, we're doing this thing next week, Knit Night. Oh no, it's not called that. That was my name and then it got overruled. Stitch and Flicks. That's what it is. At this moment, almost sold out the entire cinema at Hoyts and Erina. They're going to have the lights up a little bit and it's going to be full of people knitting and crocheting and other things with needles. Oh, that didn't sound right. And that's just kind of the weird, different ideas that I take into these planning meetings with them. And we've made it happen. And I'm so ridiculously excited. The night is on next week and I can't wait. Okay, this is starting to sound like an ad for what I'm doing next with Podvan Media. And that was not really what I was planning on doing. I just get ridiculously excited about this. Essentially, what I was wanting to do was run you through the changes that are going to happen with the Podvan Podcast and Podvan Media moving forward. So, 1 new episode a week. On Monday, Sundays, there'll be a new episode every week. We'll keep that going with the Podvan Podcast. I'll still be out there. I recorded 3 new episodes on Sunday just gone, and they are rippers. We'll do a quick fix episode every Friday. So like one of the best bits of one of the episodes from a year or so ago, we'll put that on a Friday. You're going to get all the podcasts that we're now producing. And I say we because, there might be another person joining the team. Very soon, that's going to be up to 6 podcasts that are coming out. And they're good. They're quality podcasts. And I want to raise them up and shine a light on them. Now, Julie Goodwin on the Podvan Podcast. Oh, yeah, that's continuing in our Patreon page. So there, for the Patreon members in there, it's $10 a month, and you will get a brand new episode with Rabbit and Julie Goodwin. It's me. I'm the Rabbit part, but I mean, that was the name on the radio for so long. So the two of us doing weekly episodes in the Patreon page. Those will be video ones as well. There's also behind the scenes videos from not just my podcast, but the other ones I'm producing as well. You can score yourself a discount on Podvan merch, and there's over 160 other bits of content already there in the page. $10 a month if you want to join and be part of that. I'd love to meet you in there. So that's about it. I hope you can understand the reason for the change. I hope you can support these new ones coming through as well. If you want to do a podcast, get in touch with me. Oh, and I just realized at the start of the video, I did say, if you are looking at doing a podcast, I can show you how you can actually make money from it. Well, that's the thing I'm talking about with like a Safari Life with Bobby Joe. If through your podcast, you are able to promote what you do and then you get customers out of that, or you get people booking you for your services or becoming clients of yours, that's how you can really make money from it. So Podvan Podcast, moving to Spotify. Actually, as you're listening to this, it doesn't make any difference to you, actually, except you'll notice no more ads from the outside. But if you could join the Patreon page, that would be really good to help me cover that $118 that I'm not going to have this next month. I joke about that, but that actually hurts me to be actually turning away money. But I figure, no, those advertisers are not going to get your time that cheaply. Anyway, that's it. I hope it all made sense. I hope it didn't come across in the wrong way, but it is what it is. I want to be transparent about this. I'm so ridiculously excited about all the things that are coming next. And I know those of you who have supported this from the start and have watched it grow from nothing, literally nothing at the start of 2024 to where it is now. I was going to say you've been a big part of it. You're the reason. Like, I absolutely could not be here doing what I'm doing now and the things that I'm about to be announcing as well without your support. So, oh God, that actually got me. Oh my God. So I've just come off my anxiety meds. So 7 years of being on those, and 5 days ago I was done with them. I weaned my way off them, and I did wonder, was I going to start getting emotions again? God, this is very weird for me. Can I tell you one more weird thing? I really enjoyed my shower this morning. Yep, that's a weird thing to say. These meds that are on, they made me live between a 2 and an 8 on the emotional scale. And I think a shower sits in 9 or 10, like a nice hot shower on a cold morning. And I noticed this morning, I went in there, I was like, oh, that's nice. And I went, oh, I have not enjoyed a shower for a very long time, which is great for our water bill and our electricity and all that. I have the fastest showers because whatever, I'm just getting clean. What a strange thing to share with you. Anyway, I actually felt a mild tear in the corner of my eye just then, which I was beginning to wonder if they were welded shut. Thank you so much. Please feel free to comment. Especially if you're in Spotify, you can leave comments down underneath. I read every single one of them. Get in touch through social media, Podvan Podcast as well. And thank you. Thank you again.